What's the deal, pickles? Y'all, I'm coming in for an update. Y'all, I'm going to call this like my grown vibe today. This is more of like an update and a sort of precursor of 2025. I'd love to sort of chat with you all for a few minutes, and I'm going to make sure that this literally goes up today because like I want to know how your year went and what you're looking forward to in 2025, and not just because of like all the other chatter, but really about having a sense of freedom to live life and live your life to its absolute fullest and whatever that means for you. And so with that said, I'm going to come back after the break. Yes, I'm going to still do an introduction. No, yeah, I am. I see you after the introduction. But if you are here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Why? Because I'm asking, really. Because your girl's still trying to get back on my update swag. But I really think this video is going to explain to you why and what I want to do. And it's going to be very, very chatty. So I'd love for you to hang around. This is a great time if you're one of my crafters to grab you something to work on or go to your studio or start working on your quilting and put your headphones on. Let's just chat. You may even want to have your journal or something nearby to take some notes just to sort of think about it. You know what I mean? And then come back. If you got to leave, I understand. And I'll see you next time. For everybody else, I'll see you after the intro. So, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana. This is the Freedom Please channel, originally in essenceofme.com. And every time I say that, I'm gonna say it's come soon. I really want to bring the blog back, and that's what I'm working on. Because this is chatty. Essence of Me originated because I am what I would consider now a serial hobbyist. Also, it was about originally me sort of finding things and doing things that were my own to discover and dive into who I was. At the time when I first did it, my kids were young. Y'all, they're grown now. I've been around here a long time. It's never been about building this like big YouTube like thing. It was always about self-expression and community, and I really miss that about YouTube. I also miss that many of the people that I used to follow for crafting I don't follow anymore, mainly because they're maybe like me, just don't update as often, or I miss them because of the algorithm. I also find that my hobbies have shifted over the years because of my time. And so it's made it so that honestly, like, you know, it is what it is. I am a full-time developmental editor. I'm also a writer. You see one of my books over my shoulder. I run a publishing company, and I'm a coach. And so I really find that my crafting time honestly is starting to happen more and more, but I find that I just have to get it in where I can. And so that makes it hard when I'm trying to do updates about it. So I've been here lately trying my best to record as I go, but it means that my updates come like less frequently. Y'all, I gotta look for something because I find that this gloss is disrespectful when I have to do recording. It'll start like pulling. Let me get a napkin. Just I absolutely love it, but it does that. So, y'all, I hope I remember to cut that out. If I don't, charge it to my head, not my heart. So, with that said, I really wanted to talk to you guys about what I see coming and what I would like to happen in 2025, Lord's will, and also wanting to bring a sense of community back to this space. I know it starts with me doing what I need to do, but that's why I'm explaining to y'all, if it's one video a month or 2 videos a month, that you know why. And that you don't be like dismissing me, because y'all, life, it gets crazy. I also think that making it a lot more casual means I can do it more frequently, because in the beginning, like when I was doing it, it was a little bit of everything. Then I tried to streamline it, and then that just is hard to do. And then I feel like I really want to get back to why I wanted to do it, which was having conversations, maybe talking about books, like different things like that. And so the core would be community, right? That it may be that I'm talking about a book, or that I am talking about quilting, or that I am talking about life, or journaling, or my faith walk, or whatever. But it just is rooted in what this was always meant to be about, was the essence of me. And I hope that as someone who is older now, y'all, when I go back to them old videos and see, listen, she was small, she big, and smart, like all of that. When I go back and look at those, and being where I am now, like all of those seasons were necessary to get to where I am now. And honestly, like more and more women that I talk to that are clients, realizing that everybody doesn't take the time or give yourself the time to get to know who you really are, and what you like and what you don't like, and how you feeling, and all of that stuff. And so, yeah, that's what this is about. It's like all that jazz and all that jazz. So a mini quick update before I get to what I came on to share today. Other than that, if you are here because you like my lock journey, y'all, my daughter hooked me up. This is, we're testing this style because I have a trip coming. And I've been wanting, I gotta fluff it just a little bit. I've been wanting to test something out like this. And because we had time and we wanted to test this before I tried on a trip, this is what I have going on. It makes it look like I cut my locks, but I didn't. You can see it because I have on gray. Now it's like my hair, it's growing so much. And I'm sure, I think in the next probably 2 years, I'll cut them. I wanted to get a little bit longer and sort of reach a milestone that I always wanted. So we did a fresh retie, and she added in some of the curly hair to just give it a little, almost like goddess locks, but not. And my locks are twisted and then sort of knotted in on the ends. So I'm loving it. It's so cute. And it's something different. And I feel like depending on how long it lasts, I may do it some more. I think this will be a bomb summer style. And so, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So that's update on the hair. Updates on, oh, y'all, I always got to remember if this thing made time out. So what I'm reading, I'll do a quick update on that. I'm right now reading Ninth House. I'm reading actually 3 books. I don't know. So I'll get the other one. I don't have the physical copy because I'm reading it on my Kindle, but the physical copy is coming. So I am in a couple of book clubs, and that's why I'm normally reading more than one book at a time. And so usually one is with clients, and another one is with an editor friend that we use. And then I'm reading another one for I'm working with a new coach. Working on stuff in my business. I love working with business coaches. I have amazing coaches right now. I have 3. So in different areas, and I just love it. So I'm reading Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I could be saying it wrong. This, I would say maybe this is fantasy suspense. I don't know. I gotta think about that. I'm actually gonna type in to see Ninth House, see how they classify it. The book is crazy. It is not a book that I would have selected for myself. We take turns selecting books, but it is a book that I am enjoying reading and I'm learning so much from. Oh, they're calling it supernatural thriller. Yeah. Yeah. Even occult fiction, occult horror fiction. I agree. Let me see what they have the Kindle classified as. You can't see it, but paranormal fantasy. Nah. I would say, yeah, the supernatural thriller. Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's good though. It's really good. If you are not a huge like physical book reader, the audiobook on this book is really, really good. The narrator does a great job, but there are some parts like warning that there were some parts where I stopped when I was walking. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because I didn't pick the book, but it's a great book. So this is one book. The second book that I'm reading, that's fiction, is Sin and Chocolate by K.F. Breene. And that is probably like romantic fantasy. I'm going to look that one up real quick. Sin and Chocolate. It's by K.F. Breene. And I have the physical copy of that coming. The audiobook on that one is really good as well. I've read it before, and now I'm actually making my way through the series. Oh, paranormal fantasy. Yeah, definitely. Great book. I'm gonna show you my nonfiction, but my other fiction book that I just finished reading is Before I Let Go. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna say real quick because I really want to do a separate video on this, and y'all let me know in the chat if y'all want to hear more about the book reads. Listen, this book right here to me feels like nostalgia, African American romance from the 90s. If you love like Rochelle Ellers, Brenda Jackson, like any of the heavy hitter Kimani Press authors from the 90s and early 2000s, listen, this right here. What got me though, and y'all let me know if y'all want to hear more because I can't give a full review. Amazing book though. What got me about this book was that it is a story about a couple who are divorced, who are co-parenting and running a business together, and where they are in their journey towards finding love. This is a true romance, which I absolutely love. But you have to go through some things with them. And so sometimes I had some issues with it because I am an entertainment reader for my personal reads. This was a personal read. I was going on a trip. I had a few days off and I just wanted to read a physical book and just like not be on a device. And that's what I picked. And I don't know if I would have picked this book had I known that, but it almost served me well because it was such a good book that I literally did not sleep. I had a book hangover that this book was so good. So I'm about to read the next one in this series. I'm sort of trying to hold off because she hasn't announced the date for the third book, and I really don't like reading series like this the way that they're sort of set up unless I know all of the books are available. I'm that reader. So yeah, but this is an amazing book. I finished this one. So those are, and I did pick up another one of her books because I met her at a conference and I was just like, oh, I gotta support this woman. So I have the physical copy of book 2 coming because I have it on audiobook and ebook. So I'm waiting for the physical, and I'm going to read it over the winter break, which for me is in another week. And I also bought this book. I just bought book ones in a couple of series, and this one got a lot of great reviews, and this is called Long Shot. I feel like I'm going to start this one this week, but I first have to get through finishing this one, get through my workbook so I can get some free time book. So those are those books. The final book that I'm reading, and I'll make sure that I put these in the description or have them linked in my like Amazon store. The last one is We Should All Be Millionaires. Y'all, even if you are, this is gonna be my caveat. I think every woman should read this book. There are some parts when I first got into it that I didn't know if I liked her writing style. Like, I liked her style because I felt like I was talking to an acquaintance that could be a friend. So that helps. But I'm not a huge, like, I don't use a lot of swear words, and it's nothing wrong with it. Like, I always feel like, I think it's because I grew up with people who used it a lot. So I feel like I realize now that I'm not desensitized to it anymore. Before I used to be, but now I don't know if I really like that. But now I feel like after I've read the book, that because I don't use it a lot, when she uses it, it gets my attention. And for example, she talks about, making billionaire decisions versus broke ass decisions. And every time she says broke ass, I feel some kind of way. I feel some kind of way. And I think it is good for somebody. It's good for me because it makes me pay attention. So when I feel like, girl, are you making a broke ass decision? So now, the thing that sort of rubbed me the wrong way in the beginning is really settling in. And so I am now going back through this book because I read it. I listened to the audiobook, then I read it, and now I'm going back through, and I'm really making some huge changes, and I'm using this really to put me on the trajectory that I'm going in the direction for my business. Because I'm building a $1 million business, a multi-million-dollar business. And so I have no room for broke ass decisions. Okay. So this is, again, We Should All Be Millionaires. You can't see the millionaires because of the lighting. It's like bouncing off of that gold, by Rodgers. Yeah. If y'all want to do a book club based on this book right here, let me know in the comments. Y'all, this may be what we need to revive. Based on this book right here. And it won't be on YouTube. It would be like private on Zoom. I would need to have at least 10 people that will want to do it to be able to say, like, to put that time on my schedule. But if we get at least 10 people, like, I'd be in the book club in the comments. We would do this book. If we don't get at least 10, y'all can read it, and I'll give y'all updates in the videos. So we won't miss out, but we won't have, like, off YouTube, like, private meetings to talk about it. Because this right here, game changer. So that is my nonfiction that I'm reading. Those are my fiction books. Those are my reading updates other than my Bible. So that's going to be a little bit of a transition. So go ahead and get comfortable. So in the beginning of this year, I started doing a reading plan, and I shared some of my readings. I shared some of my fiction reading or my books. I shared some of my nonfiction and my faith books, and those went really good. I can't remember if I shared that I want to start a studying plan, and so I'm going to share it now. So hopefully I'll remember that I've shared it. It's so sad. It's so sad. So I really feel like this is the first time that I've said this, but anyway. So, I'm going to back up, because if you go back to some previous videos, and some of you who follow me have been here for a long time, that you were actually around when I used to do small groups to read the Bible in 90 days, because you were one of the people that was in the group. And so I used to, there was a book, I don't have it up here, it's downstairs. I used to have a read the Bible in 90 days, a Bible that was an NIV version. I love that Bible. They don't make it anymore. The person who originally made it, I think they sold the company, something like that. So they don't make it anymore. I think somebody else made a different version of it. Point is, you read the Bible in 90 days. And I used to love that challenge. And so that caused me to read through the Bible many times. I think I facilitated somewhere in the ballpark of 10 to 12 groups, and I was reading it every time. And that was for a season where it's just, we would do them often, a small group of us. And so I decided, well, I want to say I decided, but really the Holy Spirit really just kept bringing to me of studying the entire Bible, and not just studying, but just really like not in a hurry, right? Like having a moment in my faith walk where I really can just sit and just luxuriate in the time that I have in my quiet time, and just taking it up a notch. You know, like I've studied many books of the Bible between being in Bible studies, leading our women's Bible study during different periods of time, small groups when we used to do it on my blog. But this time feels a little bit different, mainly because I just want to do it because I want to do it. And it's been really sort of impressed upon my heart to do. And so with that said, I have, so this is a twofold thing. Y'all, I feel like my face is itching. Sorry. So twofold. One is reading and then one is studying. And so, so I've been preparing myself. And, so with the preparation has been like, how do I want to do this? So that it's just a regular part of my life, that it's not in a hurry. Like the reading part will be in a certain period of time, but I want the studying to go on to be over time. I don't want it to be forever, but I do want it to be sort of like, intentional, right? Like being intentional about it. That's probably the best way I can say it. So for 2025, I'm going to start it off with reading the Bible in 90 days, but I created my own plan because that plan that we used to do was intense, and I feel like this will be intense too because it's still reading it in 90 days, but I wanted to sort of do it in a way that felt good for me. So what I did was I picked the translation. Let me know before I go into this, let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing the reading plan, or if you're interested in me giving you guys updates as I go along. Why? Because I really feel like in this season, with everything that's going on, really having a firm foundation and understanding in who you are and what it is that you are wanting to experience in your day-to-day life, and what time freedom, financial freedom, your family life looks like. It's really important for you to know for yourself, or else it will be defined for you. And for me, my faith is foundational, right? And so, and knowing it then for myself, and I feel like the more that I'm aspirational in other areas of my life, the more I'm called to be firm in what I believe, right? And for myself. So again, let me know in the comments. So the first thing that I did was I picked the translation. Now, whenever I study, I pick a certain translation, which I always know what that is. But this time I wanted to read a different translation, mainly because I really am seeking, my heart says seeking to see his face, but seeking to know him better, to know him so that I can know better who I'm called to be in him. And so for my reading translation, I selected the NLT. I've said this, I know, many times, but the NLT is my favorite reading version. It is one of my favorite reading versions. And it took time because I had to really understand and learn for myself what the differences were in translations. Again, an overflow of leading small groups, leading Bible studies, leading reading plans. I had a lot of exposure, so I really needed to learn for myself, like which ones I liked, didn't like, and why, etc. And NLT really is one of my favorite reading versions. And so I picked the NLT. But then I had a problem because one of the things that you find if you want to read the Bible in a short period of time, like reading it every day, you can sit down in a spot and have a big Bible and it's sitting there. I have the NLT in like a journaling Bible. I have it in a note-taking Bible. But most of those are big and they are heavy and they are not portable. And this Bible fits in my purse. I have a purse now, and I have a tiny purse that when you go on somewhere, you don't want your big bag, but this one will fit in my regular purse where I have this and I'll show you in a little bit my journal and things like that if I'm going somewhere, I take them because if I'm going to be sitting for any period of time, I can pull it out, I can read. I did not want to do this reading electronically. I wanted it in a physical Bible. I wanted it in a Bible that I could actually see. Y'all, they like I'm over 40 eyes. So I had another version and I found like over time, like it was hard to see, and I could see it, but it wasn't a comfortable read. So I was really looking for one that had a little bit of a larger print. Now listen, they call this large print. I don't know who said this was large print. It's not super large, but it's large enough. And like it's still small. So if you need like large print for real, this ain't the one. But it's bigger than what they had in the other one. And I also had to accept that the fact that to have it compact, it's going to be smaller. But this was bigger than the other one. So I picked this one. Another reason why I picked this particular one, I'll make sure that I'll link this one in my Amazon link below. Another reason why I picked this one is because it's a filament version. And so if you've never heard of a filament version, I'm going to show you. So what they have are, I'm going to show you if they have a big version of it. Okay, they do. So do you see this little, like, it's almost like a QR code looking thing? So what they have, and actually it is, they sort of have something like that inside of their Bibles, but it looks like this. I'm going to bring it really close. See that little icon like thing? And what that does is you can download their app and you can scan that little icon and it will bring up the app and bring up any study notes or any references or any details that this Bible would have normally had. Like if you've ever had a study Bible where you have details like at the bottom, that's what it gives you. And I felt like these, I've had this filaments ones before. These Bibles are like the perfect world between having a study Bible and a reading Bible. And so you can have your phone nearby, but I'm not reading on my phone. And so I knew I wanted a filament. I know I wanted an NLT, and I knew I wanted a little bit larger on the font, and I knew I needed it to be slim enough to carry. And this is it. So it's this beautiful like lavender color. I knew I wanted it lavender or teal. I had the teal one and I gave it to my daughter. I'm looking around to see. Yeah, she picked it up, so I don't have it around. It's beautiful. This is like, I think it's like a vegan leather. It's soft. It's great to hold. These, the etchings are like in the leather. I'm just going to call it leather with quotation marks. And they even have it on the back and on the spine. And again, it's really easy to carry. This one does not have a bookmark. I think that's one of the downsides, but I do have a bookmark that I have in it. This is one of my favorite bookmarks. One of my Bible study students gave it to me as a gift, and it has some butterfly on it, and it's my favorite color. So I have my favorite colors together. Another bookmark that I love using, and I have it because I have the two places where I'm reading right now, are these little magnetic Bible, I'll show you, hold on. These little magnetic bookmarks. I love these. I bought some on Amazon, and it was just a bunch of them, and I literally have them all over the place. So I love these. And so I have those, and I have them two already in here for the reading plan, mainly because once I finish the Bible in 90 days, I have my regular reading plan, which I'll be reading in two places at a time. And so I have that. The final thing, I think it was, the final thing was I wanted to make sure that I had tools that I could use to be able to do highlights and to be able to earmark certain areas while I was writing. Because of this being streamlined, you're wanting it to be light, the fact that increasing the font size and trying to keep the page count low means that the paper is very fine, which most Bible paper is. It meant that I've really been searching for tools that I can use to mark that doesn't cause too much ghosting. Let's see if you can see this. See in the corner. And so I've been sort of playing with which pens and highlighters that I can use to be able to, I hope that doesn't go out, to be able to highlight and mark minimally, because this is not going to be the study version, and I have found those. So if I were to show this, y'all see this, and if I turn the page, it's a little to no ghosting. And so yeah, so essentially I feel like I've been in like preparation for what's coming up. Again, let me know if you have any questions about that. And so I'm excited about it. I'll be reading for 90 days. I want to read the entire Bible before going into studying the entire Bible. And I'm just going to start at Genesis. I have taken some time to create the reading plan and create my study plan. And I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens. So there's that. The last thing that I wanted to do on the update is something that I've been working on, which is this. My dog is barking, and it means somebody's outside, so you guys may hear him. I've been doing this sketchbook. One of the things that I picked up again this past year has been, y'all, I want to say what it is. When I say pick up, please believe it's all new. But painting, light painting. I don't know what to call it. So it's painting, okay? But it's not like, listen, I'm gonna stop with all the caveats. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, then I'm gonna stop with the caveats, okay? It's not like I want to be a painter, but I love doing Bible art journaling, and I did want to have like refresh my skills that I used to have when I was younger, to be able to essentially like doodle and having some sort of low end like art to be able to put into my Bible journaling when I'm studying. I find that it is one of the best ways to have quiet time and to meditate on scripture and to think about what you've studied when I have some downtime and I'm doing the art. And so I wanted to bring those things together, but I wanted to sort of update my skills a little bit. And I sort of have picked the medium that I want to do that with, which is watercolor. I love watercolor. I don't know if I'm as good as I'd like to be, but it's something I can grow in, and I can do a little bit at a time. And so, again, y'all know, like I said, this is a hobby channel. And so one of the things that I decided to do is between now and the end of the year, so I literally have 2 more weeks to finish the sketchbook, is I wanted to fill this sketchbook and then add my goals for 2025, so that I'm going to back up. I feel like I'm not the person that does goals in the sense of where people have New Year's resolutions, but I do have goals that I have over the course of the year, mainly because it's how I plan my months. It's how I plan my year. It's how I plan my curriculum. It's how I plan what I'm writing. Pardon me. It's how I plan what I'm writing. And so, so it just works well. So it sort of aligns with that. But the goals that I have for 2025, y'all, it's a new flex. And back in the day, back in the day, I used to love to write my goals on index cards, and I would keep those index cards with me. And I was thinking, when I normally take my first pass at planning my year in November. And when I did that and realized what I'm going to accomplish in 2025, I was like, I need to bring that back. But I didn't want to do it with index cards. And so I looked around and sort of just let my mind tinker with it. And then that's when I was like, oh, I'll put it in a sketchbook. Now, a book with paper or whatever, it ended up being a sketchbook because I wanted to mix the two things. One, getting better in my art expression, let's call it that. That's a good way to say it. Art expression. And then having my goals. I was like, okay, I want to have like my goals, affirmations, Bible scriptures. It's going to be a mix. And I'm going to put it in here. And then this is like literally with me everywhere. So when I have my purse with my Bible, I have my Bible, and I have my goals, my aspirations, the scriptures that I'm praying over in this. And they're not in there yet, but it will be. So let me show you this. So I ended up picking a sketchbook to do it because I wanted it to have a hard back, because I'm throwing it in my purse. And I wanted it to have paper that could take watercolor, because I wanted to be able to practice my watercolor and my sketching. So I'm sort of like combining, and I feel like once I finish this one, I'm going to do another one, because I've absolutely loved carrying this around and sort of doodling and doing things in them. And I think I'm going to absolutely love doing it once I have, like, going back to this once I have scripture, which makes me think. Okay, so it makes me think that I may want to leave a few of these pages empty and still put my affirmations and scriptures on them and be able to doodle around them throughout the year. I'm gonna leave a couple of pages open just to do that. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. So I'm gonna show you at this angle kind of what I'm working with, y'all. So I haven't put anything on the first page because I have no idea what I was going to put. I find doing the first pages are always hard for me, so I just skipped it. And so here are some of the earlier pages. I've just been trying different techniques to see what I like, and different, what do you want to call them? Different tools like watercolor markers, watercolor in a pan, the crayons. Like, I've tried all kind of stuff. Let me know if y'all are curious about it. I'll just look for stuff that's easy and that's light and that I can literally do while I'm sitting down and watching TV, or like in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee. So here's a couple. This one I did because I wanted to maybe put a Bible scripture across here to cover like a full spread. Some doodling. Again, I'm just like learning as I go. Some of these are not done yet. Like this one, like I need to come back and add some green. Some of the tools that I use, I don't like. But I'm just going to use them up until they're gone. And I'll show you a couple that I really like. Oh, this is one that I thought was so easy and I really liked. This is some that I really like. This was so easy to do. And this one was just scribbles and I was able to pull it together. I really liked both of these. This is a favorite of mine. This was done with watercolors and Sharpie. I really liked this. This is, oh, I could talk about that another time, but I really like doing that technique. Here's another one where I did it with doodling. This is unfinished, but I did like a acrylic marker. This one was, I think it's meant to be like a bronzy copper color. And this side, I'm going to add more to it with the paint markers. I just need to finish it. This is super simple. I love it because it was just a bunch of dots. And then if you look at it closely, I did multiple colors to sort of give it a little bit of like design. This is another one that I really, really like. And I'm going to go back and add watercolors to this one. This is really simple. It's like an acrylic, like a paint pen that's like a lavender silver, like a silver purple, something like that. And that's all that I have in here. And now I have all these other pages to fill. So the goal is to have this sketchbook full with every page. Well, at first it was going to be every page having some sort of color added, and it'd be great to have different techniques. I'm today going to be adding some like watercolor flowers. And then I'm going to go in and start adding my affirmations, scriptures, goals. And the goal will be to read through this every day. So it's got to be short, straight to the point. Part of my visioning, having a way to probably earmark them when those goals are accomplished, and things like that. And so, yeah, definitely let me know if you have more questions. And I'm probably going to do something on the outside too. I think I'm going to maybe add like something like the date, with just probably, I probably could do it with a Sharpie or acrylic paint. I'm still learning the different things. I found all kind of old supplies that I had from when the kids was homeschooled, and I just been having a good old time. I also have been just adding to it when I'm taking different art classes online, and so that has been a lot of fun. And so yeah, so I have this. And so I'm going to end this here because this is much longer than I thought. Let me know in the comments if you would love for me to expand or bring any of this here. I feel like I'm going to do more updates like this and just, you know what, just do it. Why I think it's important is one of the pieces of advice that I always give when I'm talking to moms or other moms, especially when they have young kids, especially if they meet my kids and like, your kids are like grounded, like what did you do? And I think part of that to me is that while you are busy living your life and being a mom and being a spouse and being a partner and being a wife, you have to be very intentional about not losing yourself in the process. And sometimes it's not even losing yourself, it's that you don't even know who you are because you've changed. And some of that comes from giving yourself time to think, time to sit and just be. And so whether I'm crocheting or doodling or painting or quilting, that is what my hobbies have done for me. It's also been an avenue to be able to ask myself the hard questions and answer the hard questions that sometimes once I'm finished, like I will journal. And I find that even when I don't journal, it's almost as if I'm journaling across my heart because I am giving myself time to just be. And we don't get a lot of that. So when I get it, it's amazing when I'm able to do something artistic because I don't always have the words to journal it. So it's almost as if I'm journaling across my the things that I do, whether it's quilting, I'm pointing because it's across the hall, or I'm sitting here crocheting on a blanket or knitting on a blanket, and or if I'm sitting at my art desk and I'm just painting. And it's a great time to do that. I listen to podcasts, I listen to audiobooks, I listen to music, I listen to nothing. And it's all just how I'm feeling. And it's a place where I can acknowledge what I need and I can provide what I need, right? In that moment of quiet or in that moment of reflection or in that moment of just being still. And I hope that in whatever way that you can, that you give that to yourself. Right? Like right now, even watching all this, you're like, dang, how do you have time to do all that? And you don't have to do all that. Do what works for you. I do a little bit whenever I can. And that's why, again, I don't update as often. Just do a little bit here and there. My goal in most of these things is not a hurried finish. And that's what time has taught me. It is just expression and having the moment for me and understanding that in my sharing that I hope, and it's my prayer that by doing a little bit and telling you that it's okay to do a little bit, that I give you permission if you feel like you can't because you don't have time. It has probably been the most grounding aspect of my personal practices that has helped me over the years of life. I probably became so intentional about it maybe about 15 years ago, and now I'm even more intentional, and I'm okay with the fact that I dabble it out across multiple things. I'm okay with that. It is what it is. So that is everything that I wanted to share with you. So now it's time that I'm turning the microphone your way, or I'm releasing my pen or releasing my keyboard, asking you to put in the comments, what are some of the things that you do for you? How do you give yourself a moment, whether it's to sit and just have a cup of coffee, to sit and just take a break and to breathe, and to be able to pour into yourself and to give yourself a moment. And what are those things that you do, whether it's for self-expression or just to relieve the tension of life in a healthy way? I think it's great if it's healthy and it allows you to have a little productivity. That's a win-win. It doesn't have to be a certain way. What has been so amazing about this is the fact that I've literally done it everywhere and it still feels equally as good. I'll pop open a TV tray and like watching TV and talking with my husband and then doing things, and it just feels good. It feels really good. There are times when I can get more in depth and I could put on a tutorial. I can light a candle. I can have my cup of coffee or my tea and just give myself an hour or two to just do it. And you know, that's rare. It's really rare. So because it's rare, I have given myself permission to fit it in any way I can, because it's important to me and I'm important to me. And so let me know in the comments how you do that, if you do. And if you don't, is it something you'd like to do? The final thing that I'd love to see in the comments is if you'd like for me to bring any of these things to Essence of Me. You know, if this is your kind of jam, or you're like, okay, Dana, that was too chatty. You know, be kind, because we are sisters in these here parts. But let me know, because I feel like I've absolutely loved, and this is the parting word, I've absolutely loved the explosion of more seasoned YouTubers on YouTube. But I also feel like sometimes it hurts my heart just a little bit if it becomes a thing where it's just about earning an income. And I think that's helpful to have it if that's something that you need to be able to support your family. But I also think that I love it when it's also something that you just love to do, and you are helping others to find or get better or create, or in my case, learn to use watercolors, because I just love it, and because you're good at it and it brings you joy, that you help me to get better and allow it to bring me joy too. And I absolutely love when those things intersect. Okay, so that's it. Your girl is out. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for spending this Sunday morning with me. And I will be back, Lord's will, with more. I'll be looking out in the comments to see if there's something specific. And if it's not, y'all, it's going to be what it is. Alrighty. So I'll talk to y'all hopefully sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.